starting up everything. And this is 2026. Welcome to 2026. I hope you can hear me okay. Everything sounds like it's checking out. Um, let me get my normal tone of voice here. Um, what um, what I wanted to go over was 2025 briefly, right? um, that year, I mean, last year, like less than a few hours ago, was pretty pretty intense for me. Like like in 2024 in November, I had a job as a senior software engineer working for an international consulting company, HR staffing firm, and I was making like I think like well over six figures. And I was on a contract though, and that's just how these things go in the job market. In my field, for me anyway, it's a contract thing, 6 months to a year. That's kind of what you're guaranteed, even though all of your bills and expenses of your lifestyle are never 6 months to a year. But the point being that this job and the kind of jobs that I was working for the past 15 years, 16 years, afforded me to live like a lifestyle of either middle class or upper middle class. So, um, 2025, I have been living in a two-story since September 2020, um, 2021. I'm sorry, September 2021. I believe. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just kind of reminiscing. Anyway, two-story house, 5 bedroom, 3 bathroom, 3,300 square feet, front yard and backyard, two-car garage. Um, we didn't really use the garage as much as we'd like. Well, I didn't, only because it was a manual garage. They didn't have an automatic, and I never got one installed. I was renting that place for about 5 years and some change, and I was able to manage a particular type of like expectation for myself and for my sister for a good minute. We were able to have a nice, comfortable, meaningful existence within a house um, that was in an upper middle class neighborhood. Um, we had neighbors that we got to know here and there. Uh, we were able to make the house into a real home there, buying a lot of furniture. I think I had saved up quite a bit of money from living with my father 2 years earlier. I was living in Houston, Texas, with my father and his wife, my stepmother. So I was able to like work a job and save up a bunch of money, and I was able to pay off a bunch of debt. I was able to take out pay off any kind of like tickets or warrants I had for the state. Um, I was able to put down on a vehicle and maintain, full coverage insurance payments. I wanted to pay out the vehicle as soon as possible, so I paid it off within at least 13 to 14 months from a trusted car dealer I do business with. It was for my 2020. It was for my 2012 Dodge Challenger, first Challenger I bought. I wanted to drive that car. It's just a badass car, you know. It's just a car. It's just my dream car, you know. So I put $10,000 of work into that Challenger right off the bat. I The first thing I did when I purchased the Challenger, or when I was putting down a down payment for it, I think I put like 3,000 down for it. Um, I took it to I did some research, and I took it to someone that refurbishes engines. So he took about 2 or 3 months, but it's what I wanted. I wanted to extend the life of the car as soon as I bought it. It's a used car, so I wanted to get a refurbished engine. That's gonna expand the lifestyle of the car, meaning all I have to do is just do um, um, routine maintenance on it and not have to really worry about any major repairs. And uh, the transmission, wanted the transmission overhauled as well. So the transmission didn't take too long. It took only a couple days, but the engine took the longest because they had to, find parts, had them get shipped and delivered, and I think around this time, this was around like 2020 or something like that. This is when supplies were kind of taking a little longer to get, but anyway, that was my first Challenger. I was living in Houston, working as a software engineer, living at my father's place with his wife. And um, what I wanted to do was move into a house of my own, or an apartment of my own, but I didn't have very good credit. And Houston is very big on apparently they're very big on, credit checks. You have to have like near to perfect credit or a very high score, or stuff like that, right? So I mean, it's fine. It's a city. It has its own standards. It's fine. But here in San Antonio now. You mostly just needed to have at least the income or the money to be able to pay the rent on time. They weren't so worried about credit down here, which is fine. So I did some house hunting in Houston for a while because I wanted to stay where my job was at, which is Houston, Texas. But at the time, but um, it just didn't pan out that way. So I found the first house here in San Antonio. Gave the lady a call. She's like, "Hey, can you afford the rent?" I'm like, "Yeah, I just don't have like the very best credit." And they're like, "We don't care. Just as long as you have like the employment and the income, that should be fine, and we can verify it, and that'll be cool." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I was working remote at the time, so I told everybody I'd be moving to San Antonio because I'm working remote anyway. Number one, and number two, like I'm unable to find a house in Houston. I'm trying to move out somewhere, and no one's like everyone's telling me I need to have this kind of credit score, so I'm unable to find a house or move out of my parents' house in Houston. Like I can't find an apartment. Like um, even they want like they're talking about some crazy deposit or something. So I'm just like, I found a house in San Antonio. I'm working remote anyway. I'm just gonna be moving. Nothing should change, right? So I relocate to San Antonio, and then into the house, and uh like not even a few months working remote still. uh this is when the lockdowns were over or something, and people were starting to warm up to the idea of getting back to work on site. I mean, which is fine, but I'm in San Antonio now. So the problem is that like they didn't really like the fact that I'm still remote and everyone else has to come in. So I'm pretty sure some employees got mad, and you know, raised a big deal about it, and it's probably why I was let go. Well, ultimately, but I was able to find another job that was 100% remote, which was fine, and that was my more recent employer as an engineer, working for an international company. So I was able to get in, sign all my paperwork, download all the software, and read up on all the policy, and be able to take all the exams or whatever it is I was required to do, some sort of certification of completions in order for you to have an understanding of a particular subject, things like that. So, um, I mean, there were 2 years, 3 years. I was able to have a kind of stability working with them because even if you weren't on a contract or a client list, there was a bench in which you would um, be working on a resume and being able to pitch yourself to another client, within the HR umbrella of, said company, right? So it was probably the most stable software engineering job roles I've ever had, in my career, because everything else is just like contract, or after a year, something usually happens. I don't know, something gets personal or whatever. But like in 2024, I'm sorry, that all came to an end in November 2024. So I step out of that job, and then I step out of that career field only because no one is hiring and everyone's laying off engineers for one reason or another. So 2025 was kind of um very I walked into it kind of like, half-handed, and like not being an engineer or not having an engineering job. Actually, it's more like it. I guess I'm always going to be an engineer, but it's just, I guess, the job aspect that kind of, once, I guess, makes you halfway official. Only because if you're an engineer and you're employed, then every time you look at your account, every time your bank account, I mean, every time you look at the productivity of your work and what you're doing and what you're contributing to, you kind of feel complete. As if you're earning the title that you live by. I guess that's what I mean. But I live through that every day because I'm still engineering for my own company. That I've owned since 2022, and that was EonSoft. So I started a small business, EonSoft, and I didn't know what it was going to do. For instance, I thought it was going to just manage data and maybe users, you know, security or something like that. And now with AI being available everywhere, now I understand that what my company is meant to do is to implement AI into technology and allow um, things that were once tedious tasks to make them far more simpler. So I'll give some examples, right? All of the documents that you have to file, or such as the internal revenue service, like, can be handled through AI integration, meaning the documents that you have to fill out or receive, um, and put all the answers to, um, uh, uh, can be digitally connected through an API that allows your your W-2 to be read, and then matched into the document, and then the document just takes all the values and files on your behalf, unless you have complicated taxes that need to be itemized. I mean, and even in itemized deductions, there are ways you can use AI to kind of go through that. You can actually connect maybe your bank account or several of your business accounts, and I believe AI is able to kind of go through and determine what can be labeled as business travel expense, things like that, uh, such like airline ticket purchases and things like that, bus transfers. But anyway, yeah. So now that I understand what my business model is going to be, how is it going to be applied? So here's an idea of what I was thinking, and I guess everyone can give me feedback and comments or whatever. But you know, in renewing your municipal documents, such as your license and your registration, you're always tasked with getting up out of your chair, getting into a car, and going down to the registration office or the DMV when you should be able to, from your phone, um, connect with an AI assistant that'll help guide you through renewing your documents. And if you meet the requirements to renew the documents over the AI standards or what have you, they can go ahead and just ship that to you, and it can give you a digital copy of your license that's on your device. Now, I don't mean just your phone. I do mean your wearable, which is your watch. So you can actually use you'll be able to use your municipal documentation in order to scan, just like you would any credit or debit card. Basically, you wouldn't be making purchases, but you would be able to verify your age just with tapping your wrist. You wouldn't really even need a physical card anymore. I'm starting to think that physical cards are going to be a little bit more troublesome than they're worth. Not saying that just like the penny. We just live in a completely different era where if you can digitize physical things and they live in your device in your watch, then you need not have that physical thing on you 24/7, 365. You have a digital representation that you can take with you everywhere you go. So the wallet in 2026 and might be something that disappears if it hasn't already. The only thing that might be left is the phone and the watch, and the phone days are numbered as well because the watches are getting smarter. So also, I'm hearing about some rumblings about AI glasses. So people will be able to connect easier in wearable design, meaning they'll be able to have a multi sense of awareness of who they're interacting with and who they want to talk to. So the age maybe of strangers, maybe those days are numbered. Maybe the days of not knowing who exactly is in the room, what their name is, how old they are, whether or not they're married, what their marital status is, um, what movies they like, what music they listen to, like all of those things being able to, like a presence is going to, maybe that's what we call it. Maybe the application that we call it is called presence. And presence is just an analytical breakdown of who's in the room and, just to make yourself. I mean, the world might be a slightly safer place if you knew the names of everyone who's in every room as you move about the earth, only because if people treat you harshly or if people are unpleasant just off the rip, then you can at least identify this person, and we can all kind of systemically see that this person has treated you or mistreated you in some kind of way and that they might need mental health or whatever it is. So that's just me and my little technology rant. Um, uh, you'll have to excuse the background noise. I do um, live in Texas, and there is a chopper in the sky right now looking for something. Um, and there are some emergency vehicles in the background. So, welcome to 2026, where things haven't changed that much. Um, but yeah, I think that's where we're headed. I think technology is going to kind of play an integral role in how we relate to each other as people. So I'm trying to prepare for that. I mean, I I personally am working on some projects that'll help facilitate this, right? But that's just my business model. My business model is trying to connect people out in the real world. Like social media can't. I mean, there's a buffer, and this buffer is causing a great disconnect between men and women. And in order to bridge that gap, we're going to have to start interacting in the real world and feeling safe about who approaches us and why. So, if we had a presence application, that's probably going to be an AI app or something that allows us to, know who we're looking at. Maybe it'll give us more uh, information in order to approach someone and say hello or not. It'll help with that as well. I think it'll help, but yeah, that's just a couple thoughts, so far. But I also think that in when we're looking forward 2026, we should be. I would hope, you know, and maybe this is me. Like I'm gonna just throw a bunch of weird shit out there today. I mean, it's 2026 January for why the hell not? Um, I was thinking that I would either make a good president or a good billionaire. One of the two. I don't care. Um, the reason I say good president is because I have a bunch of policies that I would like to discuss and implement, and I've done that previously in my previous videos. And but I have not discussed how I would make a good billionaire. I don't think I've discussed that. I mean, it's pretty much falls along the same reasoning as to why I would make a good president. But if you're a billionaire, you can do things that government can't, right? You don't have to, when you're part of government, you have to go through other people, all the red tape. You have to get everyone to vote on things. There are holdouts, there are palms you have to grease, things like that, right? But when you're a billionaire, you can cut through most of the red tape. You can hire the lowest bidder or whatever it is. Everything's done with money behind it. You can build things, you can make things, you can hire people, you can get things started, you can get the permits, you can get. So, I think that as a billionaire, I would be able to like start industries of my own. So here's what I would do if I'm a billionaire, right? Um, Call four billionaires up. Everyone's donating 250 um, million dollars and puts it in a Swiss. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever it is, right? Um, and then what's the first thing I want to do besides like swim in that? I don't know. The gold coins like Scrooge McDuck does in DuckTales. I don't know. Besides that, I would build auto manufacturing here in the United States. Like um I would compete with other automotive productive companies and build an entire company dedicated to electrical vehicles, and which means the higher battery storage, the computing, the speed, the testing, the driving, and it wouldn't be just electrical vehicles as a sense of manufacturing cars, but trucks, buses, trains, maybe light rail trains. I would build a company that's dedicated to building high speed trains. I would dedicate a company into manufacturing e-bikes and e-scooters. Uh, I would want to also um, make invest into green energy. As a billionaire, I would invest in the future of harnessing solar energy by producing and developing applicable film that can turn solar energy into electricity, and can be collected by by all current windows that are currently installed as a part of our infrastructure. And then in the future, we'll probably wind up developing special um, types of glass or solar glass that's HUD, um, um, like a computer interface. So basically, all of the glass in your house will not only be collecting solar energy, but it would also be a lightweight monitor display, probably showing you the weather, the time, um, temperature, things, simple things like that. Uh, mm, Maybe a to-do list, who knows? Maybe something like a Minority Report. I don't know. You get the idea. Also, I would also invest in more gas stations that have charging stations. So basically, if you're going to have all these gas stations, okay, fine for the gas vehicles, but there should also be like a special parking, like whatever, for electrical vehicles to have where they're charging whatever electrical vehicle there are, right? There should always be a section among a group of gas stations right now that are strictly for electrical vehicles. Like there's a gas station. There should be there should be gas stations that dedicated to just petroleum and all that, and there should be gas stations that are dedicated simply for electrical vehicles. Um, I don't know. I'm thinking to myself, vehicles need to charge. Also, like let's take the concept of the pump being how you plug it in, right? So it would mean that all of these cars would have a gas pump like structure, but it would be different because different pumps would be able to just stretch out and reach different vehicles to charge, and each one of the cars can just charge without needing very much space to maneuver around in order to get a charging pump thing. So I would imagine something like that. Being in 2026 in the future, I mean, yeah, there's going to be more electrical charging station things. I think that the gas station will be an electrical EV station. um we might start seeing those. I mean, either that, or if I were a billionaire, that's what I would invest and build into. Also for me, besides manufacturing, I would invest into the internet, faster broadband, faster information, to more people, maybe rural areas or areas where they don't have fast connections just yet. I would look into building that type of infrastructure up. Um, I would also, as a billionaire, I would probably be AI's biggest competitor. And I say that only because I would have a call center that just has nothing but people who are operating the phones and not really computers. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I'm trying to reach customer service at any given company, I'm looking for a human. And I don't need to like push and go through a bunch of different prompts in order to get to a person I can talk to and tell them my problem so they can solve it. So for me, I would say enter in your phone number that's associated with your account and let's get you somebody. And somebody would be on the other end of the line. I would just cut out that middleman. I mean, AI is really supposed to be an assistant anyway, but it's not really being implemented as such. Right now, it's implemented as, a replacement for a human, and that's just not what it's intended for. I have aerial vehicles going over, so you'll have to forgive me for that. But yeah, I would be AI's biggest competitor. I mean, that's just what I would do if I had that kind of money. I would invest it in people, and then I would invest um my $1 billion back into people, back into the development of people. Meaning, I would also open up a grant system that says, if you have a small business idea, let's talk about it. I would open up my own branch of banking for micro businesses, small businesses, medium businesses, all the other businesses that never got an investment because they didn't have enough credit, because they didn't have enough collateral, because. Like all of these businesses that never got made or never got funded simply because of money lost, I would invest into because a lot of those big gambles will pay off like 10, 20 fold. So, yeah, like I always wondered like why basketball I maybe they do this and maybe I just don't know about it yet. But why football players or basketball players or athletes and professionals who make all of this money, like, do they have some fund somewhere where it's like, sign up for this if you're starting your own business, sign up for this and you'll get money because you're da 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 da. Like, is there such a thing? I mean, this is the kind of stuff that I would kind of want to promote if there was that kind of thing. But I mean, I'm a billionaire. I would put my money into it, and I would have other people who had a lot of money or access to a lot of money put into that business too. And that business model says we're giving back to the community because if you have a business idea and you have no funding for it, um, then let's talk about a business structure that me and you can both work with, whether um, um, whether you succeed or not isn't the point. The point is you're trying, you know? Now, what I'm asking or what I'm talking about is opening the door of opportunity. I'm not saying throw money at every stupid idea. That's completely irresponsible and that's not what I'm advocating for at all. But there are very good ideas that just have no money behind it. So, that's what I'm talking about. We're talking about investments into businesses that just haven't been able to get any kind of grants or funding from banks or anything like that. So, you know, and also banking. When it comes to banking and or applying for a job, that needs to be done in a more efficient manner too. Um, voting Voting needs to be done in a more efficient manner. I mean, if we're in 2026, everything needs to be digital and secured with your biometrics, whether it's your eyes or your thumbprint, one of the two or both. I mean, AI is going to implement a type of security where it can analyze your physical self and know whether you're you or you're not. And just your physical self will be either access granted or access denied to a door or maybe to a car. That's probably what needs to start happening to car security. So something else is happening. There's a lot happening today in my neck of the woods. Anyway, AI can implement a lot of security when it comes to ownership. Ownership means that my registered face and my registered biometrics is the only one to access a personal thing or a place or a vehicle or an account. So um, yeah, I think that's where we're headed to. I mean, I personally like personal interactions. I'm like, I don't mind if you pay with a phone, a Visa card, or your watch. I don't care. Um, I'm giving you something that you're wanting. You're swiping out and paying the you know business for the products, and we're good to go. So, I mean, as far as that transactions go, I plan on taking information and then analyzing it with some um, artificial intelligence tools and being able to break down um, demographics around, make assumptions instead of assertions, and then come out the other side with, hey, these are the numbers from here to here. When you have this product or this product sold more and this one sold less, and you know you can have kind of analysis and things like that and trends and trend models. So um I can demonstrate these things, but I first have to be able to like come up and generate a lot more information than I have now. um Number one, and number two, even when it's done, like I'll have to find someone who can both listen and understand to everything I'm trying to explain. So it's very tricky business being me, right? It just is. I mean, like you have to learn to relate, and it's just not easy when you're like when you're trying to explain something in high level, but sometimes it just goes. So, it's always been kind of tricky, but I've been able to kind of weave in and out of um, salty language in order to make the point. So, but anyway, 2026. I feel real good so far. You know, a lot of memes on Facebook. Oh, check out uh, the Black Mask, which is my alter ego for my DC. So I on my Facebook uploaded about 122 pictures of me in my Black Mask costume. I do like Black Mask cosplay, which is my favorite DC villain. And what I wanted to do was I don't know who the Kevin Feige is of DC or who decides what becomes a live action or whatever, but I mean, I did like the presentation of the Penguin about how they took a character and they are able to like make a miniseries. I want to do that on behalf of Black Mask, like myself personally. Only because I think that like this character for me deserves I mean, he's sadistic and he's cruel, and he seeks out revenge, but the way that he dresses to express himself tells me that he has a style that can't be matched, and probably with that style comes charisma. And I find the charisma kind of lacking in the comics and in the live presentations so far. So I wanted to bring Black Mass to life with not only the statistics and but I wanted to bring the Black Mask to life with charisma and have everybody see Black Mask and it as a totally different, as the same character, totally different, but absolutely fascinating. You know, so I don't know. Yeah, like I said, D- tell DC to call me or email me or whatever you call it. But yeah, I've been thinking about it for a long time. I'm also gonna write the series, the mini series. I'm gonna be writing a lot of mini series. One of them's King Spade, another one's the Black Mask. Well, Black Mask. Um, some other ones. You know, but I want to start horror movies as well. I'm gonna do a podcast based off of horror movies and TV. So, in 2026, what you can expect from me is I'm gonna try and put out more content based off of my feedback of different movies in different eras and genres. Um, the You're gonna find that as I speak about these movies, you're going to know several things. Number one, I've watched probably a lot of movies over 100 times. And number two, I care about what the movie is trying to convey, whether it has a significant message or not, that part for me is irrelevant. It's the fact that you can tell when someone is putting a craft into a film and wants to release to the world as a statement. So, it's a piece of yourself that you create as art, and everyone in a film plays their role just well enough to express it properly. So I hope that, well, I don't know, I hope that makes sense. I hope that doesn't sound too like philosophical about, movies and all that, but I love horror films. I do love action. I do love comedy. Um there's drama that I could tolerate. Um but yeah, I hear they're making a new like Rush Hour 4. So I'm anticipating that. There's a lot of like old school like action comedy movies that should make a comeback. I saw this meme for National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1, and I always thought there should have been a part 2, there should have been a part 3. It should have been right along up there with like Scary Movie, how there's like 6 scary movies or 5 scary movies now. Like we need like parody movies that are funny. Like The Naked Gun got all the way up to 33 and a third. So I mean, and now with this new one, I'm like, but The Naked Gun is an example. Scary Movies is an example. Now National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1, that was a funny movie. I mean, it's just how how people can use your imagination in order to make a joke, land a joke, say something funny, act really stupid. It's fun to watch a parody movie and not enough of them are being made. So, I saw this one called Super Fast, and that was based on the Fast and the Furious movies. You know, um, Rapper cameo, um, model turned actress, uh, cool Asian guy. stupid white boy, and uh obvious but not so obvious lesbian or something like that. So there it's modeled rapper cameo. But anyway, yeah, it's just a fun. They're just fun movies to watch, like they are, and yeah, not enough of them are being made. Need to make more. The more funnier, the better. Hell, the more outrageous, the better. But I didn't want to. This is like my I don't know, my second day off or something. I didn't want to stay up here the whole time. I do have engineering to do. I'm doing some Docker container orchestration right now and get that started. Some automation. I'm also using MCP Playwright to test some data entry using a JavaScript um, request to submit information into my database using a website, the web API website thing on my local host in my container. So, yeah, I've been working on that. I'm working on automation. I'm going to be working on getting some certificates in a near future. I'm going to be trying to put in more of an effort into my studies, but one of the things it's going to require from me is a disconnect from social media. 2026, I can put out content here, but on my phone, I'm going to have to try and disconnect from so many pieces of social media in order to get more work done this year. So that's the challenge to myself. Um, I would encourage a lot of people to disconnect from social media this year. I just sign out of everything. If you're on a dating app, log out, just disconnect from it, and just take this new year as an opportunity to try and interact with more people in real life. Try that. But yeah, it's 5 something my time, but just uh check out my platforms, my Patreon, to where I have all my I do gaming, online gaming for Black Ops. So check out my YouTube channel under Into the Black Dragon. Um, my Shadow Steps on there, as well as my Patreon, which are my full links to Shadow Steps, which is just the whole song. But um, also check out my cosplay uniform for the Black Mask. That's also on my Facebook. I can try and put it on Patreon. I'm not sure if they do images or not, but I'll definitely try and put it on YouTube. So be on the lookout for that. Um, and I will be getting back into shadow stepping this year. I'm just gonna have to do it because I just find myself doing it every once in a while, and it's like, well, why don't I have a camera on? So, I'm gonna recreate a new shadow step list of songs I haven't danced to yet. So, be on the lookout for that. Um, uh, what else? Um, I don't know. I just hope everyone has a very good new year. It's 2026. Um, I think I will be seeing a lot of you guys. You'll maybe not a lot of you guys, but you guys will be seeing a lot of me. So uh I might go right now. I'm working part-time, but I'm hoping to work full-time. So there might be I'm gonna try and step up the content more as the job attendance as longer hours. So Meaning, as soon as I get home, I might be on for an hour or something just to, talk and whatever, and then bounce. But yeah, I mean, this has been fun. Don't want to take up everyone's afternoon with my rants and raves, but get at me, comment, like, and subscribe. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. You can follow me. So and Enter the Black Dragon on Instagram as well. And check out my Patreon. Let me know. If there are any songs you'd like me to maybe take a look at or listen to, in order to maybe produce another video, let me know. And I will check y'all later. Have a good new year. Welcome to 2026.